Hey guys, Todd Hart, the oil guy, and I just wanted to jump on here. I'm wearing my protective glasses today because the too much screen time and the lighting is bright. So I bought these recently and I love them. Anyone that's on screen time a long time, you start to get that little twitch in your eye, or maybe you're getting headaches. Definitely look up these glasses. They're called Gunnar, and I love them. You can get them on Amazon. So anyone that spends a lot of time in front of screens, definitely get them. And I'm wearing my Ramones t-shirt today. So I'll tell you a little fun fact about me. We'll start off there. For a brief moment in time, I was Joey Ramone's bodyguard. It was a long time ago, and that was actually a really fun experience. And he actually spit a lemon onto my leg. So there you go, a little fun fact to start off my life today. I mentioned about a week or two ago, I came home from convention and I talked about a slide that really had a profound effect on me. And it was 63% of people cannot afford a $500 emergency bill without going into debt to pay for it. And that just blew me away. And it was one of those moments that just struck me. And I decided then and there that I want to talk more about the business of doTERRA. I want to kind of live my life out loud for other people to see, because I've been able to create this really cool life. And I want to start talking about that and sharing that with people. And hopefully maybe my story will inspire people and get other people to do the same and start dreaming and have the life that they want. So before I get into that, what you may not know about me, another fun fact, is I'm an ordained minister. And I became ordained so that I can perform wedding ceremonies for people that, first it was my brother-in-law and his wife, and then we hang out on the Cape Cod, and there were a bunch of us that hang out there. And I've married now, I've done 5 couples, and I have a 6th one coming up in May. And it's just really, really cool. So I'm mentioning that in that circle, I'm known as Father Todd. So I'm going to today be kind of Father Todd and kind of take us to church a little bit here with what I want to talk about. And what led me to discovering this is I've been practicing mindfulness. And if you know anything about mindfulness, you're not trying to change the thoughts in your head. You're not trying to change the world. You're not hoping the world gets quiet or your thoughts get quiet. You're really just mindful of what you're saying to yourself. And the key is to just kind of accept how things are in that moment. Without trying to change it, and just make peace with that. And when you can do that, it's amazing how peaceful you are. But while doing that, what I discovered is, and what I want to talk about today, is stories that we tell ourselves. And I found myself, when I would just observe myself with mindfulness, there were certain things that I would tell myself, and I won't tell you what they are because they're personal to me. But it was really shocking to me of like, why? I wonder why I'm saying that. Why is that thought going through my head repeatedly? I don't believe it, yet there it is. And it's sort of telling me things. So I deal with a lot of people. I have 4,300 people on my team, and I speak to a lot of people. I mentor people. I get mentored by people. And I hear a lot of stories that people say of why they can't do certain things. And a lot of them are very common, and most of us say this to ourselves. Time seems to be the biggest one. I don't have time. If you have the iPhone, the newest iOS, if you scroll to the right where the news is, there's now a feature on there, which a lot of people are going to hate. But what it shows you is your screen time, and it shows you how much time you're on social media, how much time you're doing other things. So when you say to yourself, you don't have time, I encourage you to swipe right and see what that number is, how much time you're spending on your phone looking at social media. And it can be actually quite staggering. But people tell themselves all the time, they're too old. I can't do that. I'm not a salesperson. I don't have the ability to do that. It's beyond my time, or, the busy one is a lot. But basically what we're doing is we're limiting ourselves, and we're limiting our belief in our ability to achieve our dreams. And a lot of us have stopped dreaming. And so if you know anything about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and these numbers I've seen vary, but your conscious mind can process about 80 bits of information per second. Your subconscious mind can process millions of bits of information per second. And the reason that is if your conscious mind could process everything at once, you'd go insane. You couldn't handle that amount of information coming at you from the sights and sounds and all of it. It's just too much. So there's a thing called the reticular activating system, the RAS. And I've heard this, Deb Erickson, who I'm a fan of, calls this the bouncer. It's the bouncer at the nightclub. And so the bouncer at the nightclub decides who gets in and who doesn't get out. And so the RAS is the bouncer for what you take in consciously and what just gets stored away and ignored. Like, yeah, we're not going to pay attention to that. That's not important to us. And the rules that the RAS has is what you tell it is important in your life. So if you're telling yourself you don't have time, you don't have time. You're not going to ever find time because your conscious mind is never going to see the opportunities. And if you start saying, oh, nobody will be attracted to me to do that kind of business, or, oh, and talking to people on my team now, people will say, well, they're not doing anything, or, oh, they're negative, or they're this, or they're that, and constantly labeling people. What will happen is you'll never see it. You'll never allow for a miracle to happen. You'll never allow for something incredible to happen. And you're taking away from your dreams by doing that. You're limiting your possibilities. So I'm just hopping on here today because part of being an entrepreneur is you really have to unlearn a lot of things that you were taught, especially as a child and into adulthood. And a lot of people, most of it's negative. Most of it is you can't. And I'm here to tell you, you can. However, you do have to unlearn a lot of things. And one of them is the stories you tell yourself. So I encourage you, one is to start dreaming again if you're not dreaming. And the bigger the dream, the better. And then what I want you to do is I want you to sit quietly in meditation, in mindfulness, and just listen. And listen to what you say. Be mindful of what you say out loud to other people, how you speak, what the thoughts are in your head that you say to yourself. And I guarantee you're going to catch yourself saying a lot of negative things. And so it all starts with realizing it. And then once you realize what you're doing, you can then catch yourself doing it and then stop yourself when you catch yourself doing it. And then say to yourself, you know what? That's not really what I believe. I may have been programmed to think that. I may have been saying that to myself for 25 years, but it's actually not true. And it's not what I believe. And then you'll start reprogramming your brain. Your reticular activating system will start to then look for opportunities. And I've been in situations where somebody will say something to me that, oh, that's not possible. But yet there'll be someone at the table next to them saying, oh, Deb Erickson tells a story about a woman she knows who is a real estate agent. And she was saying, I can't find any business in this town. There's no business in this town. You don't understand it. You don't get it. It's impossible to do business in this town. And there was a couple right next to them at the table. And the woman was talking about wanting to buy a house, needing a real estate agent. And Deb was sitting there watching her friend going, okay, is this really happening? Like, I can hear what this woman's saying, but yet my friend is completely shut off from that information because her reticular activating system is not paying attention to it because it believes there's no body in this town that wants to buy real estate. So be careful of the stories that you tell yourself. It's so important. And even at this point now where I'm having amazing success in my business, I still discover and find myself once in a while, I'll catch myself with a negative thought. And so just be aware of that. So all I want you to leave with this today is be mindful, spend more time being mindful. And there's a lot of distractions in the world. There's a lot of noise in the world. I read a lot about entrepreneurs, and there's a lot. The majority of successful entrepreneurs don't read the news, don't read the newspapers, don't get caught up in all of the things that everybody else is getting caught up and shocked about. And oh my God, the world is going to end. They don't get caught up in that. They are focused on their dreams and building their life And when you do that and you don't get caught up in all of the noise and all of the distractions and the, hey, look over here, what's going on over here, you can get a lot more done. So I encourage you guys, if you want to achieve something, if there's a goal you have, if there's a dream that you have, get rid of some of the distractions, get rid of some of the noise, because really a year ago, we were all supposed to die from bird flu, and then it was something else, and then it was something else. And it's constantly something in the news that we're going to die from, or we should all be fearful from. But then the news cycle switches, and a week later it's something else. And everyone is shocked and spending all their time worried about it. But then the next week comes, and then it's something else. And it just keeps repeating over and over and over. And it's a waste of time and it's noise. So ignore the noise, start to focus on yourself, and spend some quiet time each day, 2 or 3 times a day, and just listen to what you're saying. Listen to your words, listen to your thoughts. And it's shocking of what you think and what you say. So that's all I wanted to say today. I'm going to be coming on here every so often and just sharing little bits of information. But I just, the last 2 weeks, I just keep hearing stories that people tell themselves. And I'm like, dude, no, none of that is accurate, what you're telling yourself. It's all bullshit. And I wish you would stop saying it, because you're limiting yourself. So stop limiting yourself. Dream big. Figure out what you're saying to yourself, start working on that. And if anybody wants help with this, or they want a mentor, or they want to talk about it, reach out to me, because I love talking about this stuff and I love helping people. And again, I'm going to go back to doTERRA, because this is what I do for a living. If you are looking to make a difference in the world, if you want more out of life, and maybe doTERRA is not your passion or your dream, but yet it can fund your passion, it can fund your dream, it can give you the time flexibility to be able to do whatever the heck you want to do. I wake up every day and get to do what I want to do, and can hop on a plane and fly across the country and spend time with my daughter. I don't have to ask someone's permission. I really can do whatever I want to do now, and give a lot back to charity, and be able to do a lot of service work and do all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking to build my team. And I'm going to start talking more and more about the business, because it's an amazing company and they do so much for the world. Their products are changing people's lives, and everything that they touch, they just make a huge difference and a huge impact, from the farmers to all of the people involved, to bringing the oils to people's homes, what the oils do in people's homes, the lives of people that have gotten involved in doTERRA and built a business. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And I encourage you guys to look up Healing Hands Foundation, look up Co-Impact Sourcing, go on the doTERRA.com website. And I am looking for more people to join my team and join our tribe, join our family. And I promise you, it is the greatest decision that you'll ever make. And you will wake up every day and go to bed every night thanking God that you're a part of this company, because it truly is a blessing. So that's it. Be impeccable with your words. There it is. One of the 4 pillars. Be impeccable with your words. And also your thoughts. Be impeccable with your thoughts. But I encourage people to learn mindfulness, because you really start to become aware of your body and your thoughts, tension you have in your body. Life is a lot different when you practice mindfulness. It's a lot more calm, and things that used to bother me now just I just observe them and they just roll by like leaves on a lake floating by. It's pretty cool. So that's it. I'm Todd Hart. Went a little Father Todd on you today, but I hope you guys appreciate it. I really want to help people achieve what they want to achieve. I want people to dream. We have one ride on this thing called life. And are you doing what you want to do? Are you dreaming? Are you living the life you want to live? Or are you just going through the motions? Are you just caught up in, this is what they tell me I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to work 9 to 5. I'm supposed to be miserable. I'm happy on the weekend for one day, but I drink myself into oblivion and I watch sports, and then it all starts over again on Monday. And maybe I have one vacation a year if I'm lucky. There's more to life than that, guys. I promise you. So reach out if you want to talk to me, and whatever you are thinking, you can do it. Trust me, you can achieve anything in this world. You have to unlearn a lot of things. You have to work on a lot of things, but it is possible, and I'm living proof. And that's it. I'm Todd Hart. I'm the Oil Guy. Those are my rambling thoughts for today. Peace.